your amazingness with us.
Thank you, Eileen. Good to be back. And I think we're going to have an interesting session tonight. There's
I hope
a lot been happening. I spoke to Rumi, if I like to call it, through the deck of cards here. And he threw out what I think was the perfect card for what we will be dealing with tonight. And, you know, the cards that we normally pull out, I had two that came out one at a time, which I thought was interesting, particularly one of them, and then five jumped out in one hit. And when I look at the order of them, it all makes sense, I think. So yeah, let's see where we go tonight. But
see what happens.
So before we start, how are people around who are listening? Feel free to put in the chat how you're feeling, what's going on, what's happening in your world. Just give me a little bit of a background, please.
Awesome.
Just let me know how you're feeling. Yeah, I like that.
How you doing, cards? So Louise, with when Leon and actually when Tarania is on, we do a group reading from the cards. We do a chat about whatever comes through. Every time is different, and it just depends on where it goes. But we have the cards already sorted for the group readings. So yes, and a sound session. We are doing a sound session, aren't we?
Always. Always a sound session, and it always at the end too, it's lovely to get people's feedback. I've already tested the life force of the people who are going to be on. That's already been done, and then we'll test it at the end. So that will be happening. So
awesome.
Yeah. So that's what we intend to do tonight. So thank you for all the people that have put the little comments in. It's really, really lovely to be able to see that. So yeah, thank you.
Oh, Michelle, your little ones are not well. That's not good.
No.
We'll send some healing that way, hey?
We will.
I know. Has anyone else had aches and pains? Because I know I've been waking up most mornings, except for this morning, with really achy hips and lower back. And it was last night I went, I'm just going to do my own Reiki session. And magically, I woke up with no pain today.
I think on another level too, there's a lot of energy coming through from the sun at the moment, and whether we talk about that or not, it's another thing. But our bodies is getting a lot of downloads at the moment, massive downloads, and our body. I'm finding myself very tired, which is not normal for me. Normally, I know what sleep I get, but like even this afternoon, I came home, I sat down on the couch and went to sleep for an hour, which is not normal for me. So it was nice to be able to sit there, but own my body, own what my body was trying to tell me instead of trying to force myself. And you know, if we look at lower back and hips too, that's all about movement forward. It makes sense as well. So that's the whole energy comes from our legs, which is movement. And I think what we're seeing at the moment is that, you know, what's happening on the planet, we don't know where things are going. There's so much uncertainty at the moment. You know, this is a complete experience of where we're going. People don't know. There's no answers. And there's so many different mixed messages that are coming around, depending on what you're listening to and what you're watching. There's a lot of information that's being what's the word I'm looking for here? It's not allowed to come in. The mainstream media are projecting one image. A lot of the other information that comes out is very quickly taken down by mainstream media, main media's outlets. So it's all this playing out, and there's a lot of uncertainty in one respect. So to me, I'm aware of that in that context, and that's part of what I feel I'm to share with you tonight. And you know, in one respect too, and I remember it, I find that if I'm having aches and pains through my body, I will tune into, as in sources, to find out. And sure enough, there's energies coming through from the sun that was released 2 or 3 days ago, and it hits us. And this is the change that's occurring in our body, where we spoke about this before. Our body has been upgraded. We've been upgraded from a carbon-based body to a silicon-based body. Now, this is going to happen over a long period of time. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's been occurring really since 2012. This has been occurring. And what we're doing is we're moving to what we call the golden age, and the Mayans talk about this in 2032. And what does that mean in terms of our body being upgraded? It's able to carry more light. Now, what I mean by more light, light is information, it's knowledge. So our body is more lighter, and it actually is that's about the only way I can describe it. It's more lighter, it can carry more light. And the other way I express it is, it's like we see a electricity power station. Now, if you've got a direct hit of that power, your body just would not be able to take it. Your body would just shrivel up. So what's happening here is our body has been upgraded so that we're able to take that light. And this is where we're moving from the third dimensional density world, which is we're here to experience duality, and I've shared this with you before. But as we're starting to deal with our karma, let go of the karma that we've done. And karma to me is unresolved emotional issues that we haven't brought to the surface. And a lot of people are still bringing their stuff up. And what's happening at this moment in the lockdown is so many people's issues are really being brought to the fore here, which is a good thing because you're purging all that. And I spoke to one of my colleagues who does similar work to what I do, and she was telling me today how she had this lady that she'd been working with for 4 days, came around to her place, stayed at her place for that 4 days, and the massive purging that she went through, and the pain and the anxiety, everything she went. But at the end of it, and she's been working with her for a couple of years, she said she just felt so free, and the word she used was so much lighter. And this is what's happening. If we haven't dealt with our karma, it's going to come back and hit us in the face.
That's right.
So I look at what's going on here. Many of us have been in this fear of wondering what's going to happen, where it's going to go. But while we're in that frequency, we really lower our body in fear. But if we can actually go, okay, I don't know where we're going to be going. I don't know how this is going to unfold, but I'm in this space of trust. And it reminded me of my mum. My mum talked to me about this a number of years ago. She remembered being in World War II, and she said where they had coupons, where they had food rations, and everything else was locked up. So in one respect, we're in another war at the moment. It's not a war that's firing bullets in that regard, but it's a war for our conscious mind. So in this context here is what are we feeding? What energy are we putting in today? What energy are we allowing to take over our mind? And the thing that I'd like to share with people is that if we can come from a position of gratitude, I've learned probably over the last 9 years that gratitude is one of the most powerful experiences and energy that you can have, because I'm finding that when you're grateful for what you've got, and I have a process where I'll get up in the morning and I'll give thanks for the bed that I'm in, for the roof I've got over my head, for the food that I've got on the table. When I have my breakfast cereal, I'm thanking all the farmers that put all the food together, the transportation people who brought it to where I am, and the shops that put it there. Now, that might sound a bit simplistic, but it works. There's this, what I mean works, you feel it in here. It's not a head thing. It's got to come from here. It's got to come from your heart. And when it comes from your heart, you're opening your heart. So we've got people at the moment, all of us are dealing with what we've got, what's going on here. And as I've shared in other broadcasts we've done, is that we chose to be here to experience this. That's the bottom line. We chose to be here. And in one respect, we were actually chosen to be here as well, if you go back far enough in this regard. So whatever we are to do at this particular time, part of it is to let go of the fear and to be able to start focusing on the future. So I'm going to put it to you this way. What do you want to create? What do you want to experience? Because if you're actually staying focused on the fear, you can't create. We as humans manifest. We are a creator. We create things. Other animals can't. Well, I suppose they do with bird nests and things. They do, but we have the ability to manifest. Create what it is we wish to create. So while we're in fear, we can't actually do that. So to be able to own our feelings, totally get that. Own it, observe them from an observer's point of view, and let them go. Today I'm feeling this. Okay, that's how I'm feeling. Own it, feel it. Now what do I feel? And in that context, we can start to move forward here. And we're all going to know that we're all going to get challenged on this in some way or other. We're going to have our buttons pushed. But I remember Eckhart Tolle last year said, where do we hold our strength? Where does our strength come from? You know, and I'm not getting caught into religion here or spirituality, but in one respect I am. Where do we hold our faith? Where do we have our belief systems to help us through this? And I'll give a very, very simple example. Last week we were supposed to be moving out of the place we were, actually tomorrow. And the people who run this organisation, or where I am, one of the guys there I get on very, very well with. He knows our situation. We didn't want to move. And he, we knew the situation, and anyway, they offered us, without even having to ask, offered us a discount on where we were staying to be able to stay here. And I just thought that was magnificent. And in the context, what I said, I just put the statement to him, thank you. Thank you from here. Not, oh, you shouldn't have done that, but just thank you. And so many of us can't accept a gift when it's given to us. And when we accept gifts that are given to us freely, we can have more to be given to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if someone's got, are you doing questions tonight? Feel free to put a question now, I don't mind.
There's been a few people who've asked if we're taking questions for readings rather than just doing the general. So, yeah.
Yeah. If the question is a general question, I have no problems. But it's because if we do reading for everyone, we'll never get to the point of doing our reading. That's why I feel, well, like my intention when I do this is, what is this about for people? And the thing is that on another level, whatever I share with these cards, you will get what you need to get. Yep. It will be appropriate. There'll be something I will say, or there'll be something I will express through this card, and you go, that's what I needed to hear. You don't need to have every individual person, because on one part is that I want you to learn how to trust your own intuition, trust your own inner guidance, not externally. And this is one of the things that we are learning. Stop putting our power or giving our power away to external parts and asking people. I remember years ago when I used to do presentations on stage at schools, in General Assembly, and I'd come back and ask one of the teachers, oh, how did that go? And I realised I gave all my power away to that person. Yeah. And I got to a point where I said, no, don't. You're doing the best that you can with the resources you have. You know what you did well. You know what I could have improved on. I knew that. Yeah. I don't need someone else unless there's someone that is so much more wisdom and experience of life than I've got. Well, that's different. I can ask them for that. But here, what I want to teach you, if I may use that word, is learn to trust your own intuition and then follow it. Because the sooner you trust your own intuition, you'll get your own messages, you'll get your own guides coming through for you. And this is where it's got to come from. It's not about trusting what I've got to share or what you've got to share or what Terenia's got to share. You've got to trust your own intuition in this part. And when you trust that, you see your whole life starts to evolve. But you've got also to look at the signs. I remember years ago when I picked up the phone to ask for emergency teaching. My body wouldn't let me. Went to my boss to ask, could I have 6 months? He said, will you take 12? My body answered for me. Yeah. I went to buy a house after my marriage ended. I got a message, you don't need to buy a house. And thank goodness I didn't, because it gave me the freedom to travel all the places I've been to where I am now. Yeah. So this is where you've got to learn to trust. Now, the more you trust your intuition, the more it's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the more you play it, the more you trust it. And how many times, I'll put this to you, how many times have you actually gone against what your inner gut told you? And then whether it be a week later or 2 days later or an hour later, you're going, oh, I knew I shouldn't have done that. And you actually know in yourself that you were trusting somebody else. You've got to stand on your own intuition. So that's why I don't want to do an individual reading. I'll do a general reading and you pick up what's appropriate for you. Now,
it's actually really funny because most of the time when I have a guest on a Thursday or Friday night, you guys all say something that I've said almost word for word to clients during the week. Like, it's ridiculous. But clearly, it's the message that needs to be heard right now. And for a lot of people, it's recognizing that the answers they seek are not external. It's in. You've got to go within, because your past has led you to the person you are today.
Mm-hmm.
But the person you will become is all about your choices today.
Totally. Absolutely. And that's the thing, the past is the past. It's all the experiences you've had. The present is the only thing that's real. But your future will be determined by, one, your belief systems, the programming that you have in your brain, the seeds that you plant of intention, and then allowing them to come to the fore. What are we in the moment? We're in the middle of winter. So, from a farming point of view, which is my background, in May, Dad would have planted all the crops, the wheat the oats we used to sow. And then what happens is, in winter, you don't see much. Then a little shoot comes out. You don't go and pull it out and say, is it fully grown? No, it has its own cycle to be able to come to maturity. And then by the time we get round to January, when everything's grown, you harvest it. And this is the cycle. It's a continual cycle. So I look at you, for those people who want individual readings, what are you planting? What seeds are you planting now for your future? That you have to believe in what you're actually planting in your mind, that you can create.
That's right.
And this is the part about, from the feminine point of view, not female, I'm talking the feminine aspect. The feminine aspect is bringing more of the masculine into their being. The masculine is bringing more of the feminine in. So the female are becoming more and more about manifesting what they want, what they would like to manifest, what they would like to create. And we're seeing that more and more in our society now. Yeah. Some are still doing it in the way men do it, and I don't like that phrase, the way they've done that. But, some women know, I'm standing in my own 2 feet. I'm making this, or I'm doing that, or I'm selling this. They've got all the smaller businesses that they're doing. I remember at the markets, all the majority of them are women. They've gone out and created product, and they're selling them. And I think that's where we're going to keep on going. Anyway,
I think it's
let's have a look at the cards.
Yes.
This one. I'll let you hold it up.
Yes.
All right. This is an emotional card, but there's so much in this one. First of all, it's the number 9. 9 is the end of a cycle. Now, if you really look at it in a big way, we have literally, from 2000 and where were we talking about? 2020 at the start, we literally ended a cycle. It was very clear. When so-called COVID hit, our whole world changed overnight. But I want you to look at this picture in another way. On that picture there, you'll see a scroll under the left-hand side. That scroll is your graduation certificate that you got for what you've experienced right now. You've got the green on both sides. The green is about heart. On the leaf is fully grown. It's got to its maturity. But on that is a chest with all your treasures, all your gifts, all your wisdom is in that. The white, which is emotion, it's water. It's also truth. On your cap, you've got a cap on your head, which is generally about graduation. You're smelling the roses, and you've got purple around your third eye. So there's a bigger picture playing out here. But what I see underneath the big leaf is another bud. So to me, we're stepping into the unknown. All the seeds, everything for what the next chapter of your life is, you already have it ingrained in your life now. You chose your life when you came here. We have connecting with people. I'm finding at the moment, since I've been here, I'm connecting with people on so many different levels that I never ever thought. That's almost happening weekly now, where people of like-minded are coming together. So if you've got an intention very clearly about what you want, you watch who comes into your life to assist you to be able to manifest what you want, or coming into your life to work together as a group project that you actually want to do. And this is where you've got to speak your truth from your throat, from your heart, and put it out there. Next card. And this is where a lot of people are at. It's called emotional loss. Now, we see the pain in people's heart here, and this pain resonates right back to the past. And the number 5 here, 5 is about change, uncertainty, the mystery of the future. Now, when I say this person is reflecting on it, and what we are all doing in one respect, people are saying we want to go back, using the word, we want to go back to what's normal. There is no normal anymore. That world does not exist. We will never go back to that world. We are in a massive paradigm shift. It's like a woman saying that she's pregnant and says, I want to go back to when I wasn't pregnant. Sorry, it's not going to work. Even if when the child is born, you'll never go back. That is the transformation that's occurring. And that's, again, is like, when you were single, you had a life that you lived. When you're married, you have a different life. When you have a child, it's a different life again. And the world that we are going into now, we will never go back to that world. And if we're talking in another, 8 years' time, we will be describing what a world we have created and what a journey we have been on. So this is acknowledging the pain that we have for what the past was, but we can't hold on to it, because if we're holding on to it, we're looking in the rear vision mirror of our car trying to drive forward. We have to plant the seeds of where we're going into the future. That's what that card's about. So they were the first 2 cards that came out one at a time. Now, these next 5 cards flew out in one hit and in this order, and I think they are very, very appropriate. The next one, which is
the right order though.
Yeah, you'll see number 1, triumph to success.
Good.
Okay. This is the mental part. This is the mental process we're going. So number 1 is the beginning. It's the start. It's like you're working through everything that's happening at the moment. I call it sifting the soil. You're pulling out the weeds. You're acknowledging both sides of what do I do? Where do I go from here? What's happening? You may be listening to the media. You may be listening to alternative medias. You're listening to your friends. All these things. But after a while, you get to a point where you make up your own mind and you're open to that mind changing for you if you choose to. But the sword is breaking through. It's breaking through the Mother Earth. It's in your left hand. So to me, left hand is always the spiritual side. You're coming from your heart now, which I feel is about compassion. It's no judgment. Everyone has to walk their own path. And we're all going to have a part to play in this. On one side is all the pink. Pink to me is coming from your heart. And on the sword, on the whitish side, is what is the truth for you. And then the gold around the base of the sword across here is the wisdom that you've got of learning from this. So, but it's the number 1. You're just starting to work through that. And it's really important that you do that, because what we're doing, we're bringing all that emotional stuff to the surface. And we go, okay, I am okay. I am fine. I have got a roof over my head. I have got my family around. I can sit down and have a meal. You've got all those things. And I think when we can actually, and when we agree with where we're at in terms of our family and our support that we've had, we're okay. And if we can hold that, and then we will deal with what tomorrow brings. But we must be aware of what our thoughts are, because our thoughts create our reality. So important. Next card, please.
Triumph.
Fertility.
Thank you. I thought I got those ones around the wrong way.
Yeah, you did. You knew it. Should trust your intuition there. Okay, this is the first of the major arcana cards here. I love this card because what have I been talking about? I think, what seeds are you planting for the future? Now, when I look at this card, you'll see the brown all off her face. Brown is about being grounded. So when we need grounded, we need to make sure that our intention, like it's okay to be what you would call spiritual, but unless you're grounded, you'll topple over. You've got to be grounded. How do we do that? Make sure that our roots go deep into the ground and we have an awareness of what's going on, but we don't get caught up in it. So it's living in both worlds. We need to be in both. We're in this third dimensional world. So here, this woman is grounded. We see a little bit of white on her crown. The branches coming out of her head here is the intent that she's planted from her mind. But look at the blue. The blue is a deep blue, which means deep communication. She's expressed to the world what she actually wants from her mind. Right? We'll also see the little green buds there, little green shoots. So it started. The yellow, which I always call is the spiritual connection here, is coming from her mind down and connecting to her heart. When we look at the heart is green. So the heart is, again, we're coming from our heart. And in the middle of that is the white, which is our truth. And the ring around it outside is that brownish reddish color. So it's about what action am I going to take here. Then we see the hands come down to her womb, which we're connecting the spiritual world centered from our heart into the physical world. So we're now manifesting what we want. So they're all joined together. You'll also notice the green of the butterfly wings. So this is the transformation, the change. So the question I'm going to put to you, what is trying to emerge from you now at this particular time to deal with the challenges that are before you to grow and evolve and become who you are destined to become because of the situation we are now in? Now, as soon as you ask that question, the answers will come. But you have to ask that question, which is taking you forward as opposed to stuck in the past, which is also, oh, I wish we could go back to this. I wish I was going back. So how do we ground ourselves? Okay, what I suggest to you is often I just go out in nature. And recently I'm putting a couple of videos actually on where I've just got a video where I've just walked through the bush. No sound, I've just walked through the bush, said a couple of things and just allow it to be. So when you go out there, just breathe. Slow your breath down. You can do it in bare feet if you can, but it's a bit cold around here at the moment. But put your feet on the ground, bare feet if you can, but see the energy. Breathe it in, coming into your heart. And I physically do this. I'll go like this, bring it in, into my heart, and then with my hands, I push it right down, seeing the energy go through my balls of my feet, into my Earth Star chakra and going into Mother Earth, right down. And I will do that. And in the process of doing that, what I'm doing is I'm allowing any, and I'm conscious of doing this, conscious of any negative energy or any stress or any whatever that shouldn't be there, I'm asking it to leave. But at the same time, acknowledging it and saying, thank you for making me aware of that. I think I shared this example with you one other time. I remember when I'd, not so much, I didn't, the contract that I had to run programs for unemployed disengaged youth, that contract got cut. And the next day I felt this massive pain in my stomach. And I went around the lake, I asked what was that pain about. I got the answers, walked around, got the big picture of what that was about, let it go. And then it was gone. So I suggest you just go and walk, but make sure you make time for yourself where you are totally focused in bringing energy in and taking it down into Mother Earth. Then the reverse I do is I bring it up from Mother Earth, in through my feet, up into my heart and up. And we'll do an exercise with that a little later on before we actually start. Okay, the Earth Star chakra is below your feet, and it's about 6 to 12 inches. Don't get too caught up on the amount, but it is below your feet. You have your root chakra at the base of your spine, but the Earth Star chakra is in the ground, Mother Earth, below your feet, and that's where it is. And it's like a tree. You know, you go and have a look at a tree that's really, really big, but then it's blown over, and it's got very, very little roots. So for you to be strong in in a spiritual sense, you need to be very deeply rooted in the ground, in Mother Earth, and then have the roots of the tree going up high. And it's so good, I find, where I can go to a tree and just put my back against the tree and feel the strength of it. Feels so powerful when that occurs. So I'll leave that with you. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Right. See, there's your answer is in there in terms of being too stressed. You already answered the question yourself. The thing is, if you want, see the energy coming in, see it coming through your body, and visualize seeing it going down through your body, into the earth and into Mother Earth. and see it going through the roots of see, all the trees are all interconnected. There's roots that go everywhere. See the energy going into there, and then slow your breathing down. Slow your breath down. Breathing from your stomach, not from up here, not shallow, deep. Breathing from, and even if you use a gesture of your hands, and you will feel it. And when you feel it, you've got it.
Yeah.
And then thank Mother Earth for helping you.
Sometimes I also visualize, if I am having one of those stressed moments, I breathe in the good energy and breathe out the stress.
Yeah, that's what we said. You see it coming
The
out.
same thing.
Yeah.
The same thing. Just.
Yep. And then if you want to go one step further, which I think I've done it on this before, I don't know where I've done it, but you bring the energy from Mother Earth up into your heart. You bring the energy from Source down into your heart. You bring it in, and you bring it into your heart, and you hold it. And you feel it going through every cell of your body. But you have to, the visualization is really, really important. It really works. And when I say works, it's not about works, but it just, you feel the shift in your body when you do that. And if you really want to do it one step further in your really good space, then push it out into your community, into your family home. Yeah. Find it so nice because you're putting an intention from your own higher self to bring loving energy into your family so that the stress in the family can leave as well. Okay.
Definitely.
So let's go back to this one. This was the fertility. We've already explained that. So there's planting the seed that you want, right? The next one here is the Triumph card.
I had it right. I should have trusted that.
Yeah, of course you should have. I told you before. So this one here, another major arcana card. What I like about it is 7. 7's a spiritual number in that regard. So it's openness and trust, trusting yourself and trusting spirit. Trusting spirit, which is ultimately trusting yourself. This card here, the horse is about you. It represents you, the power of who you are. It is brown, so it's grounded. It's around the neck is the blue, which is a scarf. Blue represents you've spoken your truth, you're sharing it. Right hand, the physical world. And then you have in your hand there, you have the red flag. What's the red represents? This represents the your base chakra. It's your tribe, your work, your passion. And you see it in the hair as it's coming back. But also in the horse, you'll see the red around the ears. So like when you've ever ridden a horse and it wants to take off, you'll see it. It'll put those ears up. It's incredible to ride a horse like that. So what it to me is about here is you control the horse. All right? Just take your time. There's a lot of stuff happening at the moment. Take your time. Some of us want to build, Rome in a day. Well, it's not about that. It's taking the time, one step at a time, one step at a time. This is what it's about. If you've ever ridden a horse and it's out of control, it'll take you off in the bush and toughs you off. That's happened to me once in Mildura, and that hurt. And I got dragged for a bit, but I got back on the horse, but it really gave me an incredible ride. But at that time, he just took off when I hopped on the first time. So you've got to control it. So to me, this is all linking together. Okay, the next one, please. This one I think is wonderful. I think we talked about this one other time before. A caterpillar, when it changes to a butterfly, we shared this, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
when we shared about this. When a caterpillar goes into a butterfly, it doesn't know what's happening. It's purging. It's like I explained this later, it's almost like a vomiting. It's bringing up everything, all the stuff, and shit being a technical term. But you're bringing all this stuff up to change. The analogy I think I've shared with you before is like a teenager. When you go through puberty, it's challenging. It's very, very difficult for a lot of for people at that stage. But you come through it and you come out the other side. This is what's happening now. Our body, as I shared with you before, is coming from a carbon-based into a silicon-based body. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to occur. How do we do that? Is by making sure that we have dealt with all our karma. What do I mean by that on another level is when you're in a relationship, anything that pushes your buttons is the karma that you need to deal with. and the fact that you're in relationships this time of your incarnation, before we move on, these are big ones. And those that have, I can put it this way, some people have really taken on big issues this lifetime to deal with so that they can move forward on a soul level. Soul meaning your soul was chosen with the relationships you've had to deal with all of this. This is what's occurring on a big level. And if you can see life, if you can see life from a soul's perspective and you understand what's going on, you can go, okay, I get this. This is what this is all about. So if you can embrace it, I look back on my marriage and I think, wow, what challenges that was, but I get it now. I understand what that was all about. And now, this is really, really important. I have absolute love and respect for my ex-wife. There is no need to forgive. It's done on another level. Now, whether she forgives me or not, it doesn't matter. I send, because I don't need to know, but I have dealt with that myself. All I do is I can send her best wishes or love. I hope she's okay in her life. But I thank her on a soul level for having this relationship with me for what I needed to learn. And when we can let go of all those relationships on an energetic level that we've had, whether it be employees, whether it be siblings, whether it be family relationships, ex relationships we've had, we have to understand what they taught us and what we taught them. Forgive yourself because you're human, and to be able to move on. This is what this transformation card's all about. And that is how we raise our frequency, because you're coming from love, you're coming from non-judgment. You still put boundaries around how you allow people to treat you, which is part of what you're growing, and then you move forward.
Yeah. Doing all this now.
I know, I saw that. I love that. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. So anything pushes your button, instead of getting upset about it, go, oh, okay, whoa, what's that about? And the thing, it's just a little thing. And it's not about, because what would we do in the past? We would react. But now we go, okay, thank you. I got that. Yeah, I love the way that has just been expressed, because it is so freeing. So freeing.
Exactly.
One exercise I'd love you to do tonight, if you can, before you go to bed, is just sit there and go, okay, who do I need to forgive? I need to forgive them. Okay. Wow, they taught me that. That person taught me that. That accountant, shivers. Yeah, he taught me that as well. And you go through each one of them, but you forgive them. And you don't have to see them, because energetically they get it on a soul level. Whether they're alive or whether they're dead, they will get that. Whether they're not dead, they're gone. They will get it. But you need to deal with that, because that's on your heart. And this is what the Egyptian mythology was about. When you measured the heart against the feather to be able to transition into the next life. The feather was, you have no emotional stuff in your heart. It's clear, it's done.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's that one. What's the last card? It means it's all done. You just step into the next chapter of your life. Now, there's so much in this card. The truth of who you are is revealed. You step in. It's like the computer game. You've played at that level. You've got it all. Now you move in. Next bit, away you go. But I'm not giving you a time frame on that. I have no idea. But we've all got to deal with our stuff. And as uncertain as it is, if we allow ourselves to be drawn into fear, we'll get pulled down. If we allow to, ask your own guides. Ask your own guides, what do you need to get? What message do you need to hear? What wisdom it is. At the moment, I'm reading a book at the moment that I absolutely love. And I find it so uplifting by reading this book. What it's done, I call it soul food, right? It's like, for example, I should be nasty to McDonald's. You go to McDonald's food. If you keep on eating that, that's not going to do you really well. But every now and then you might do it once, but then you go back and have a really nice meal. All right. So, so to me, it's what you are absorbing in your body. And this book, for me, which I'm reading at the moment, is so empowering. It just uplifts me when I read it. So to me, that's where I'm at in that regard. So again, look at what you're actually observing. Look what you're reading. Look what you're listening to. to keep your frequency high.
Yes.
Yeah. And the thing with the anger, I put the question to you, what are you angry about? And then delve into the anger. I'm angry about this. I'm angry about that. I'm angry about that. Okay, fine. Got it. Because when you identify what you're angry about, you can release it.
That's right.
That's the point. A lot of people will push it down instead of allowing it to come up. That's the purging. So I'm angry about this, why it's nice to go for a walk sometimes. This is what I did after that situation where I lost my, the contract was shut. I call it lies, deceptions, and betrayal. And when I understood all that, that's what I was upset about. I felt it in my stomach, in my second chakra and third chakra. That's where it was, because that's the physical part of our world. Once I got that, let it out, then I was free to move on. No more anger. I got the gift. I understood what those people did on a soul level. I have absolute gratitude for them. Absolute gratitude. Because that then enabled me to travel to the UK for 6 months for what I experienced over there. If they didn't do that, I wouldn't have got to where I have. And it's only often we look back in hindsight and we understand the wisdom of that experience that we had. It's like a great movie.
Yeah.
I totally like that. Let the anger go. There's
That's
one thing, let it go. And same with being guilty. Let guilt go. You did the best that you could. You know, if it was a conscious decision you made to do something, well, okay, that's human, but you can, you know, deal with that, let it go. If it needs to be, say sorry, well, okay. But yeah, let the guilt go as well.
Akessa.
Yeah, I saw that. I like that.
Do you know what? A lot of the time when I get people coming to me with problems with their emotions,
Yeah.
I go, okay, but what's behind that emotion?
Yeah.
I had this beautiful session with a beautiful, beautiful lady. I went, what's behind that? And what's behind that? And we just kept going until she couldn't go anymore. And she nearly burst into tears on me and said, but behind that is the woman I want to be.
Yeah. And you've got to allow that to come out.
That's right.
Because as soon as you come out, and I find it very, I'm going to use the word frustrating. So many people, when I'm doing live coaching with them, when they do reading stuff, they will go and they'll start to cry and they say, oh, I'm sorry. And I said, no, allow the tears. The tears is emotion. What is it? It's water. It's releasing. It needs to be done. And I see people, and I'm deliberately doing this like this, when they're crying or before, and at the end of it, they're like, oh.
That's right.
And you see the breathing slows down. They are more relaxed. And that's at the end where I'll go, you can't see it, but I go with my
selenite wand.
I just scan that down through their body and you see the shift. All right. So is that observing it? How do we let it go? The thing is that there's two parts of it. One is that the observant, but it's the intellectuals part, I suppose, as well. It's feeling it in the body. You've got to feel where that pain is, right? The example I gave, I felt it in my stomach. I knew it was there. So the question I asked, what was the pain in my stomach? What was it trying to tell me? What was it about? When I asked that question, then I got the answers. Betrayal, lies, deceptions. Anything more that needs to be expressed. And there was, but I'll get to that part in a moment. I said, okay, what were the lies about? I owned that, and I won't go into that. What was the deception about? The same thing. I worked that through. I then went to the lies, deceptions, and betrayal. I got that too. Okay. By owning that, I literally, as I'm breathing, so I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, I'm letting it out. Let it go. Let it go. And then I asked the next question, which was so important. What is the bigger picture of this? Because there's always a bigger picture. Then the answer was, first of all, I said, does any other part of my body want to speak up? And the answer was, yes. What are you going to do for money? Then I realized the answer was, you already have money. The answer straight. You know, the last two programs, you've got good money. And then I looked, okay, what's the big picture here? My relationship had already ended about a month and a half ago. The lease in my house was already up and I could have been asked to leave. There's three things. When three things happen in my life, I really, really listen. Spirit is trying to get my attention. Because I asked the question, all of a sudden the answer popped into my head. I can go to Scotland, my ancestral family. Within a month, I was in Scotland for 6 months. Total gratitude for the people that cut the contract. I saw the bigger picture. There was no anger, there was gratitude. And I have since met that person again, and there wasn't one emotional trigger in my body. There was gratitude for what this person did. I hope that helps that person about letting go. But you'll also breathe it in, breathe it out. And this is where sometimes when people start to cry, and I'm saying this respectfully to women, when someone goes to cry, they'll go and hug them and say, oh, you poor thing. No, leave them alone and let them cry. Let it out and keep going. Ask them questions to keep bringing out. How are you feeling? What's this about? And you'll see it. They just keep crying. They'll talk it through if they need to be until they've got nothing more. Yeah. What's happened up here in the Blue Mountains in the last week or so? The wind, it is just blowing an absolute gale. It's blowing away all the old. The trees, the bark's been blown away. To me, very therapeutic a storm. Yeah. And that's what that's about.
Absolutely. She's awesome.
No, I love that. That is good. But that's what we said. Remember at the start, we said you don't need a one-on-one session. You'll pick up what we're talking about will be appropriate. That bit might be appropriate for you. Something else that we said will be appropriate for someone else.
That's right.
That's the beauty of picking up that. So that's why I trust the cards. Now, I'm going to read Rumi. I love Rumi, as you know. I'm going to read this to you. The card that fell out, which was 2 and 25. 5, as I've already told you, is about change. 2 is about choice. Beyond the threshold of fear. I mean, it couldn't be more appropriate. So we see him looking to the future. The white, what's the truth? And the cards of Rumi, they'll read the words to you. And then we'll do a sound.
Yep.
Enter the lion's jungle. Don't think about getting hurt. Fearful thoughts are phantoms of the mind. No one is harmed in this jungle. Everything is compassion and love. It is your fear holding you back, like a bar behind the door. And the channeling of Rumi was, how I celebrate for you. After so long away from home, you have finally returned. Beyond the threshold of fear, you dispense with your doubts, hesitations, cautions, and tentativeness. They are old friends with whom you no longer have anything in common. Goodbye, old friends, I wish you well, you say, while turning your face to the beckoning light of a new yet ancient world. You are visiting as though for the first time, and yet somehow also remember deep in your sacred heart. Finally, we can sit together in a charming courtyard at home. We shall tell our tales of adventure and laugh, and we'll dance and sing. Eventually, day shall pass into night, and we'll gaze upon our feet, our mouths gasping open in awe, and minds utterly blank, rendered dumb in sweet submission to beauty as we watch the world spinning on her axis. This oracle comes with special guidance for you. You have broken through a barrier. Right?
Yeah.
A self-imposed barrier of fear, whether it seems to originate from within your consciousness or from an external set of circumstances that held you back from taking the steps you are now taking. or just about to take. These steps may feel strange, new, uncertain, and exciting. Your mind might not have received the memo that fear-based existence is no longer in operation for you. It may need a loving, tender, reassuring, and firm update that the relationship you have with fear is now rather different. You are the witness, not the victim. Your consciousness is strong enough to hold it in compassion. You don't collapse under its weight. In fact, it is becoming less and less substantial for you. When it is there, it seems less convincing than what it once appeared to be. Compelling still at times perhaps, but not anywhere near as powerful as it once was. That power has been claimed by your heart instead. Get used to the new way and take steps. Test your legs. You find them powerful and ready. Get set to fly. Test your wings. Trust in one, daring in the other. You'll find them enthusiastic for flight and ready to learn to ride the currents, purpose-built for soaring to new heights. Trust in your vision without the murky filter of fear. It is sharp and clear. You can see what is meant for you, what is true for you, what is beckoning you forward now. Take the running leap. There is no darkness and flight for you anymore, just life, living, free and clear. I'll be running and flying beside you. We'll soar and dive and rise again. Let's play. And if I may, look back on your life and look at a situation where you were in deep fear. But you trusted, you got through it, you came out the other side, you learned from it, you grew from it, and you became who you are today as a result of going through that.
Exactly.
This is the same, but it's very different because none of us have been through this before. This is very, very new. And it's very challenging. But I've also got to keep reminding myself, I chose to be here on a soul level to witness this. And how nice will it be when you talk to your grandchildren down the track where it says, I was here during this period of the night of this 20s, and we're able to explain to them what we went through and what we now have. And we'll say, do you remember the time when we used to drive to work? We lived in the cities and we used to have 2 hours in the car and come back. And do you remember those days? And we used to fly overseas. And now we biolocate, and now we just choose where we want to go, we go. How amazing that will be. They talked about the golden age. Getting a bit carried away here. That's enough. But anyway.
I think a lot of people get caught in their headspace, and you just need, when you're starting to ruminate, and you're getting stressed and you're getting anxious and all of those negative feelings are rising, just breathe, just take some deep breaths and get down into your heart space. Get out of it.
Someone has wrote, I need to kick, not need, do. Acknowledge the fear, let it out, move forward.
And Rach, give me a call or send me a PM because I can do a mini session with you anyway.
Okay. I think it's time for a sound, unless anyone's got a specific question of just what we've been talking about.
I think we have to do sound.
I think we do too. Okay. I've set up differently from what you've heard before. There's a little bit of difference here. So sit back, enjoy. But before we do, I will, at the end, I will read the last little piece of the Rumi. It's like the honouring ritual that I will do. You'll know when I'm saying it when I come back, so you can bring people back. So I want you to grab your crystal, please, if you've got it. Grab your crystal.
Sound healing time, please.
Yes, it's coming. Grab your crystal. Okay. Grab your crystal.
My smoky.
All right. Hold on to it. The intent is there. Put your intent for what you want for this sound healing to be, for this sound session to be. And now start to breathe. Gently. Breathing in from your stomach. I ask on your behalf that your guardians, your guides, to be with you. To be able to show you whatever they need to show you, if it's from a vision point of view. Any crystal, yes. Whatever it is that you need to let go of. Understand that you are supported 100% here, but you have to ask for help. In this space, allow yourself to experience whatever it is you are to experience. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. I want you to see a column of light coming from above, from source. And I want you to see it pooling above your head, above your crown chakra. Beautiful white, golden light. And when it is full and bright, I want you to breathe it in through your crown, through your third eye, through your throat chakra, down through every cell in your body, cleansing, purifying, removing any stale, stagnant energy that needs to be moved. Down through your heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral, root chakra, down into the earth star chakra, and right down into the depths of Mother Earth. See it going through the roots from your feet that go into the ground. And if you feel it, you'll feel the strength in your feet. You'll feel the support that you have from Mother Earth. And again, big breath. Breathe it in. Big ball. Down through your body. Down into Mother Earth. Just shake your hands a little. Just shake them around. Rotate your shoulders. Just feel the tension go. Breathing in again. Breathe in. Coming down into your heart. And I want you to hold that ball of light in your heart. And I want you to breathe in from Mother Earth. The energy from Mother Earth. Up through your Earth Star Chakra. Up through your feet. Up through the base chakra. And join it in your heart. And I want you to feel that energy as a ball of energy. A ball of light. And I want you to move your hands backwards and forwards until you roll this ball of light and you will feel it in your hands. As you feel it, you'll feel a little weight. You'll be able to stretch it out. You'll feel this energy. And when it starts to feel heavy and you can feel the electricity of it, the elasticity as well as you're feeling it, I want you to hold it into that ball. And I want you to put it into your heart and breathe it in and feel it going through every cell of your body. With the aid of Rumi, who loves me without condition, and the loving grace of Mother Earth, I lay down all old fear that no longer serves my great soul purpose. I release it now with complete forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude. I am at peace with the old fear. Thank you for teaching. Return to Mother Earth now. I no longer bind you to me. Through the grace of Rumi, fear is replaced with wisdom. I am gently, powerfully restored to my inherent divine radiance, ready to live my life with love filled with trust, patience, boldness, and tender affection. So be it. Blessed be. In your own time, welcome back, everybody.
That was really cool.
Again, different, wasn't it?
But I get fluttery gold around me.
Okay.
It's really cool.
beautiful. I like that.
Mm.
Make sure you write down those messages for yourself.
Definitely.
Make sure you do. Blessed be.
Blessed be awesome. I love that.
That's called one-upmanship, isn't it?
I think so. I think so.
I'll take that. I'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting, Akessa.
Yeah. Shake it down. Let it go. Just let it go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just let it go. Let's do
the life force. Good. You got burning hot, Aaron. Connection.
in my chart. I've gone from 9 to 14, which is another over 50%. 9, 4, 5, 9. Yeah, around that 50% increase, which is good. I like that.
Yeah. A couple of people felt really hot.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Because it's a purging. It's a purging. I love that. That to me, intuitively, is just you're letting stuff go. It's coming to the surface. And the shedding of the skin, that's fantastic, because it's what's a snake about? Letting the old go, shredding it. I've had a couple of dreams recently with a big one with a snake, completely shedding all the skin.
Hot flush throughout my body in a good way. I've never ever seen it described that way.
Very hard. Okay. I love the comments that are coming through. It's wonderful. Yeah, I love with the snakes. Snakes are about allowing yourself to let go of what needs to be let go of. It's like they do. They just keep shredding. They grow, and it's letting go of the old. Snake is such a great symbolism.
Able to speak directly, so it seems to source it was surreal.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I love it. Well, it's beautiful. Everyone seems to have, well, what we're hearing is people got something from it. That is lovely. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, Kim, I can see you. You're my only viewer on YouTube. Welcome. Glad to see you.
No, it's wonderful to see that. It's just beautiful. As I said, I have no idea what I'm going to play. As soon as I sit down, it just comes and I play. And there's a different energy today. For people, how did you like the gong? That's the first time I played the gong with you.
I love the gong.
Yeah.
But we used to do music therapy at school when I was teaching.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
The gong is...
I know the power.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really lovely. I didn't play it really loud because I don't... Yeah. Did it vibrate through the speaking system, or was it okay?
Not like it has before. It's done better. I don't know if it's this particular streaming platform or if that's the only thing that's changed.
Yeah. Well, I have moved it to a position. It's right beside me where I sit. Now I have it right there. So I've taken it away from where I was. And everything is right there in my hand. So I can literally pick up whatever I choose to pick up. Yeah. So that's wonderful. So, I love playing the chimes too. Yes, the water. I love that. And to me, that's what it's about. It's allowing that little cleansing as I play that. And that's the intention when I'm playing it. I'm playing it from a higher to a low and also lower to a high.
You and the didgeridoo, Leon.
Well, I bought it for that purpose, so I've got to utilize it, and I love doing it anyway now. I just look forward to the time when I can do the circular breathing, but I can hold my breath long enough to be able to get a beautiful, nice note from it as well. So I'm thinking that's working nicely for people. So that's good.
It's working very well.
The rain
stick?
Yeah, it's a piece that I have, and I just trickle up, and I just tick. It's got a whole heap of beads in it, and then you tip it up. So it's the timing that I play it. It's to me symbolism of rain, letting, like the storm, the storm of letting go. That's why I play that. There's another instrument that I play. I didn't play it tonight. It is really, really strong. I might play that another. Yeah. But anyway.
Sparkly noise was a rain stick, was it, Akessa?
Yeah, sparkly noise. But it's good.
I like it.
Yeah.
I speak fluent, whatever that is.
Yeah, there's something about that. But am I allowed to share with people that I do it on?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, if you can you send a group invitation to my link that I've sent to you? Are you able to do that or not on your page? That way they can go and see it. Is that possible?
The Zoom invitation?
Yeah.
When are you doing it next?
I do it every Sunday at 2:00, and then every Wednesday night at 8:30.
Oh, there you go. Just trying to be cute. Yes. So, what do you do on a Tuesday and Sunday?
I
got the days wrong again already.
I'll start again. Sunday at 2:00. I just very brief introduction, and then play, and then I do a Rumi card right at the end. And again, people can feel free to do. It's on Zoom, and people can tune in. They can ask a question if they want to. They don't need to, but it's generally round about. I would say now probably be around about that 50-minute mark. By the time people get on board, I've increased my Zoom capacity now. So just come on, and I just want to play it. As simple as that.
Awesome. So I'm going to put the link to your page in the comments.
Yeah.
Do you post on your page when you're doing that?
We'll do it on both. I do it on my page, and I also post it on Quantum Healing Energies. Yeah.
What is the time and day for USA? Oof, that's a really good question.
I don't know.
So Sunday. Oh my gosh, my brain has completely gone.
I reckon you'll be sound asleep in bed. Depends on you, the West or the East Coast too. I don't know.
She's in Virginia.
That's on the East Coast, is that right?
I don't know. I don't know geography that well. Not for the other side of the world.
I don't know, Kim. What time are you there now?
That's a good question.
Yeah, what time are you now, Kim? She can do the Wednesday night.
Mm.
You can do the Wednesday night, Kim, because that's when we came on here at 8:30. So Wednesday night I come in on 8:30. So you come in on that one. And I've got you on Facebook, so I can send the link to you anyway, Kim. Yeah. Again, I'm just going to play. No introduction like what we talk about. There might be a brief one, but generally it's just playing the music, do a Rumi card that connects, might have a few words. If people want to talk, that's fine. But generally, we'll just allow it to be what it is.
She's got 9 a.m. and we're at 10 p.m. So 2 p.m. Sunday will be...
You started this. I'm not getting into that one.
She's got 9, we've got 10. 2 p.m. Sunday will be like 1 a.m.
Yeah. I thought she'd be sound asleep in bed.
Yeah. But the Wednesday night...
Yeah, Wednesday nights will work for her.
What time do you do Wednesday night?
8:30.
8:30. So same time next.
Yeah.
Same time, but on Wednesday instead of Friday.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. And feel free to pass it on.
Wednesday morning.
Yeah. And feel free to pass it on to other people as well, please. Because as I said, this is something I'm just doing because I can, and I enjoy doing it. And particularly at the moment where everything around the world is pretty all over the place, I just feel if I can play something that helps people relax, feel better, whatever it is, clear, get some vision, get some messages for themselves, so be it. That's what I want to do, and I will do that.
That's
And
awesome.
it's not hard for me to do, so let's do it and let's enjoy it.
No, it's super awesome. Thank you so much for being here, for your time, for your energy.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure.
I'm very grateful.
I'm thankful for you having the people there, because that was one of the intentions I always had, is to be of service to humanity in some respects. And if this I can do it this way, I never thought 5 years ago or 2 years ago that this is what I'd be doing. But
Exactly.
I'm loving every minute of it. So let's just keep doing it and see where it all goes. So while we have an audience who want to hear what we've got to talk about, we'll keep doing it.
I'm up till my time till 10 a.m. and get up at 7:30 p.m. Okay. So, Kim, that makes it sound like you're in opposite land. Do you do a night shift? And thank you to those of you who share it. I do have the Zoom link. If you're happy for me to share your Zoom link on the page, then I can do that.
Yeah.
You haven't set up events on Facebook or anything?
No.
Okay.
I'm sending it through Zoom. If I do a Facebook one, it'll just be a Facebook Live, which I've done a couple of times recently. You might have seen the one that I did where walking through the bush.
The other night. I saw the bush. I looked at that. It was funny timing because I'd literally stepped outside to put my feet in the earth. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Guys, if you are feeling stressed and worried and overwhelmed by everything that's going on, especially if you're here in Sydney and living in lockdown, just shoes off, go and stand in the grass. So just get connected to the earth and do the breathing thing, and visualize the roots growing from your feet and into the earth and into Mother Earth, because then connect yourself to the universe as well. It's amazing.
And if you can find a good tree that you connect with, just put your back against it or put your feet on the roots. I often put my feet on the roots of the tree because they are going in, so the energy is going through me, through the roots, and I visualize it. Just and feel the strength of the tree, knowing that you're being supported.
That's exactly right. It's really important at the moment.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for your time, for your energy. Thank you, Leon, so much. We will be back next week. I'm planning to do a brief live in my free Shift Your Shit group on Monday, and then a slightly longer training session on a Friday. So if you are not in the free group, come and join it. I would like to tell you who I have on next week, but my calendar's under a book over there, so I'm not going to tell you. It's a secret. Have a good weekend, guys. Be kind to yourselves and stay safe.
Exactly. Go gently, everyone. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for what you've shared. And it just gives us the encouragement to keep doing what we're doing. And that's what it's all about. It's making a difference in the world. So thank you very much for being a part of it and making this a very, very enjoyable experience. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. See you guys.
Bye.